Hey everyone, back tuning into today's video, the 5-day forecast today, having a detailed look at, well, it's 5 days, across British Isles, some quite interesting weather coming up over the coming 5 days. I think it will turn quite hot on Saturday across England and Wales, with temperatures possibly going up towards 30 degrees, 86 Fahrenheit, but there will be a very high chance of heavy rain and thunderstorms potentially on Saturday. And then after that, we go rather autumnal actually as we go through to the end of the weekend and start of next week. So it's all going on, and there's a lot to talk about in today's update. So before we get on with that, just to say about the ads, this link's articles for the page at gaswebs.com. I'll browse the widgets. Any articles that you're interested in, please click through you have to read the article and thanks so much to do that. There's also video ads, most page, so open out with the content. When you watch them now, close back up again. It's all helping to pay for the website. The website's using full 5-day forecast coming from theweatherapp.com and westcentral.d. You can find it to both websites on the links page. So here we go with the radar picture, and it's a complete reversal on what we had yesterday. Yesterday all the rain was in the east, and it was mainly dry, sunny and warm in the west. Today it's flipped around, so the east is largely dry, though there are a few showers running down the east coast, but got this band of quite heavy rain across Ireland, Wales and south west England. That'll get more widespread on the western side of the country through the course of this afternoon. Here's today's hot pressure chart, and low pressure is coming in off the Atlantic, bringing that area of rain in from the west. So it is going to turn increasingly cloudy and wet through the west during this afternoon. Central eastern parts of the country get the best of sunshine, although that sunshine will turn increasingly hazy, I think, as we go through the afternoon, as this cloud and rain spills in from the Atlantic. Temperature's quite warm in the east, so it's around 23 degrees, that's 73 Fahrenheit. Cool in the west, just 15 or 16, and that cloud and persistent rain. We'll all get a dose of rain overnight tonight, a band of quite persistent and at times heavy rain will come across the country, followed by clearer spells with showers into the north and west. You see quite tight back ice bars in the northwest. It will be pretty windy up there, but winds should be quite light across England and Wales. It's going to be a mild night with temperatures holding up in double figures for both parts of the country. In fact, I think quite humid down in the southeast. Now, some of that rain could still be lingering around in the southeast to start off with on Thursday morning, but it should go quite quickly. There'll be a lot of cloud around, I think, through the course of Thursday morning, but it should increasingly brighten up during the afternoon with some sunny spells coming through. Excuse me. Temperatures will become quite warm, going up to around 23 or 24 degrees. That seems to be 70s Fahrenheit. It's been quite humid down in the south as well. Now on Friday we're bringing weather fronts across the country. These are quite weak on Friday, but they are sort of dawdling across the country, so they'll bring a lot of cloud in through the UK on Friday. And there'll be sort of rain coming and going, I think, through the day. Not persistent and heavy rain, but sort of rain on and off, drizzly bits and pieces of rain, and a few heavier bursts mixed in. Perhaps always more likely in the north and the west, with the southeast getting the driest and brightest weather, but even then there'll tend to be quite a lot of cloud rain. It's going to be very humid down in the south on Friday, with temperatures going to around 25, possibly 26 degrees if the sunshine comes out. And that's going to be the big caveat, not only for Friday but also for Saturday, because it will depend how much sun there is as to how high the temperatures can get. But if the sun comes out, potentially it could be up to mid-20s in the southeast, but otherwise sort of low 20s with a lot of cloud, bits and pieces of rain, and just generally quite an uninspiring day in the north particularly. Now it gets very interesting on Saturday, because we've still got those weather fronts over the country. In fact, they'll be intensifying as this area of low pressure runs up from the south along those weather fronts. At the same time, be pulling up some quite hot air from the south as well. So it's a complicated forecast for Saturday, but I think for Scotland, Northern Ireland, Northern England, Wales, southwestern England, likely to be quite a cloudy, wet day, with rain becoming heavier through the day, probably quite torrential in some places by the end of Saturday afternoon. Now that leaves the Midlands and eastern England largely dry through daylight hours, I would think, with some very warm spells of sunshine coming through, possibly lifting temperatures up as high as 27 degrees, that's 81 Fahrenheit. And in the far southeast, you could go a little bit higher than that. Wouldn't be out of the question. That could get to 30 degrees, 86 Fahrenheit. It'd be very humid. But there will be a growing threat through the course of Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening of heavy rain or thunderstorms breaking out, either from those fronts moving in from the west, where they've already got the heavy and persistent rain, or just from thunderstorms pushing up from France. So it'll be one to keep an eye on. I'll probably be updating Stormwatch, maybe not today, but probably tomorrow, as this starts to get a little bit more firmed up upon. But certainly quite an interesting day, potentially, for Saturday. Very warm, but also the risk of heavy rain and thunder in places. Now that'll all cross the country as we go through the course of Saturday night into Sunday. And then Sunday, it's all eyes on this area of low pressure in the Atlantic. And this is an autumnal type low pressure with a central pressure of 985 millibars. That's very deep for August. So we'll go from the sort of summer-like conditions of Saturday into a much more autumnal type pattern as we go through into Sunday. We may still have some heavy rain or possibly thunder across parts of Scotland and northeastern England on Sunday morning. That should clear away quite quickly, and then we'll get a drier spot. But this area of low pressure will be moving in relentlessly, bringing wet and windy weather to Ireland, Wales, southwestern England. Gusts of wind could be going up to gale force by the end of Sunday afternoon down in the southwest approaches. Temperatures in the east could still be hovering around 21, that's 70 Fahrenheit, cooler than Saturday, but still reasonably warm. In the west, though, with this wet and windy weather rolling in, temperatures there just into the mid-teens, and it really will feel quite cool and miserable. And then wet and windy weather will sweep across the whole country on Sunday night to leave us with a very unsettled day on Monday. This area of low pressure is in control. So we'll probably start off with quite heavy rain, persistent rain in the north and the east. That clears away, and then we're sort of looking at showers, and some of the showers will be heavy with risk of hail and thunder, driven in on a strong and almost up to gale force westerly wind. Temperatures will be very much on the depressed side with that low pressure. In the north, probably just looking at around 14 or 15. In the south, perhaps up to around 18 or 19. It's more like the sort of temperatures you expect in September rather than August, and it will feel pretty autumnal in that wind. Beyond that, I can say that it looks like it's staying unsettled really through much of next week. Finally, have a look at the charts from the weather outlook, just so you can see weather in your area. Don't take these too literally for Saturday, particularly when there's a lot of uncertainty in the forecast. But for today, we've got this rain coming into the west through the course this afternoon. And then, as you're going to see, it'll gradually spread eastwards across the country. Moving through to Thursday, and it really is a case of showery bursts of rain. I think that's more likely in the morning. Things will turn drier through the course of the afternoon. Friday, again, we've got a lot of cloud across the country with some showery bursts of rain, particularly in the north and west, but driest, bright weather in the southeast, becoming very warm and humid down in the south. Then a very interesting day's weather on Saturday when we get this heat building up in the south. Temperatures possibly going to 30 degrees into mid-80s Fahrenheit, but there'll also be a lot of cloud and at times quite torrential and thundery rain in the north and west. And with time, these heavy showers and thunderstorms are likely to push across all parts of the country as we go through into Saturday evening and the early hours of Sunday. Sunday will start off with some showery rain in the northwest, that will clear away. Then we'll get a drier slot before more wet and windy weather rolls in off the Atlantic this time, and that's going to be accompanied by gale force winds down in the southwest. We go through into Monday, and it's a really cool day. Very windy with lots of showers, particularly in the northwest, but all parts will be at risk of showers on those strong westerly winds for Monday. So there's a lot going on, a lot to keep an eye on over the next few days. We start off with some rain in west today, spilling across the country through the course of tonight. Then it'll turn a little bit drier for Thursday. More rain in the northwest on Friday, particularly on Saturday, where it could turn heavy and thundery. Temperatures on Saturday boat in the south will become very warm and hot, possibly triggering thunder on Saturday night. And then it turns autumnal as we get through to Sunday and Monday. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.